Okay, so we're 4 minutes away from the next event. So in the men's 4x15 open competition, we have St Kevin's B team, St Kevin's A team, St Stephen Harriers, St Kevin's C team, Glen Huntly A, Geelong Guild, Mentone are a DNS, and Melbourne University in 8. So 3 teams from St Kevin's. A highly anticipated event here. So St Kevin's A, B and C. St Stephen Harriers in 3, Glen Huntly in 5, Geelong in 6, Mentone are a DNS, and Melbourne University in 8. So away they go in the men's 4x1500 open age category. 6 teams in this event. Once again, Mentone are a DNS. just an announcement on the timetable. I've just been handed a piece of paper which confirms that event number 6, the mixed 4x400 under 18 relay heats, will now go at final time, and the time of the final will be confirmed shortly. So at this moment in time, the event at 12 p.m, the mixed under 18 4x400 has been cancelled, so that's the heats. And we'll now roll into final time, and the final time will be confirmed in due course. So we ask for your patience. So the mixed under 18 4x400's final time will be confirmed shortly. So once we have more information, I will confirm the time of the 4x400 mixed under 18 relay. So back on the track, St Kevin's with a fine changeover. Melbourne Uni hot on the heels. So St Kevin's, Melbourne Uni, St Kevin's. So I've just had word from the competition director. Unfortunately, event number 6 will run at final time, but in this case, the final time will be on Saturday, the 14th of December at Zatopek. So the heats are no longer required. Final at final time, as per the rules of competition, will now run at the final on Saturday, the 14th of December at Zatopek. So back on the track, it's St. Kevin's, Melbourne Uni, St. Kevin's. 1, 2, 3. The change over there from St. Kevin's up on the far left of the track. With Melbourne University also looking to make a clean transition on the third leg. So some fine running there from St. Kevin's and Melbourne Uni. Some ground to make up between the teams. It'll be interesting on the final leg. So it will be important to gain as much ground as possible on that final leg in order to dictate the medal positions. So with 6 laps to go, it is St. Kevin's, Melbourne Uni, St. Kevin's. And as mentioned before, quite a bit of ground to make up between the teams. And it is starting to warm up down on the track. So if you haven't already heard, fortunately, event number 6 has been cancelled, the mixed 4x400 under 18 relay. The final for that event will not now run at final time, and that will be on Saturday the 14th of December at Zatopek. So as you can see, the teams are lined out on the podium. So this is the first presentation of the day for the men's 4x1500 40 plus relay. So receiving the bronze medals. Please put your hands together and congratulate Waverley Malvern, the team of James McEnery, Craig Sanford, Anthony George and David Veneur. And in second place, put your hands together and congratulate St. Kevin's Amateur Athletic Club. Joseph Lynch, Luke Goodman, Andrew Thomas and Aaron Little. And our 4x1500 metre 40 plus men's champions for 2019. Put your hands together for Athletics Essendon. Jonathan Brown, Jeremy Drake, Damien Brunau and Aaron Downs. So big congratulations there to Athletics Essendon, to St. Kevin's and to Waverley Malvern. So we're now on the final leg here. And the open men's 4x1500. So it is St Kevin's, Melbourne Uni. Sorry, St Kevin's and St Kevin's, a 1-2 there, followed by a Melbourne Uni. So we just ask for, just to watch when you're crossing the track. We do have an event on at the moment. So as the clock strikes 13:36, we are counting down the legs now. We're on 2 laps to go. And this will be the time where they start to fight out for the medals. The 1, 2, 3 will be dictated in the next 2 laps. Change 3, we've had the word, change 3, all the baton changeovers have been complete. So it looks like St Kevin's, Melbourne Uni, St Kevin's. Mentone out in front there, so 1 lap to go. So we're at the business end now of the open men's 4x1500. Clock is ticking, 15:46 now. So as Mentone hit the bell, leading the charge. So Mentone, St Kevin's, Melbourne Uni, so it's St Kevin's who take the win. And St Kevin's hit the bell there with Melbourne Uni. So St Kevin's, a fine performance there from the St Kevin's athlete. Unfortunately, I don't have start sheets at this point, and I do ask that the officials do provide the announcer with the start sheets, would be helpful. So it's looking likely that we have a St Kevin's win followed by Mentone. So final performance here from Mentone. There for Glenn Huntley and Gillan Guild, but it's a 1-3 there from St Kevin's. Sandwiched in between the middle there is Mentone. So St Kevin's and Mentone, St Kevin's. And Melbourne Uni there in 4th. So we now turn our attention to the medal podium. Presentation now for the men's 4x15 50+ age category. And receiving the bronze medals, please put your hands together and congratulate Keeler St Bernards, Gregory Moore, John Kondogonis, Paul Meeson and Dominic Michinji. And receiving these silver medals, please put your hands together and congratulate Doncaster Athletic Club, Roderick De Hayden, Stuart McClay, John Curry and Mark Purser. So we do ask you to get behind the medalists in today's competition. A lot of effort has been put in to secure these medal podium positions. So please, we ask you to support your teams and support the other teams here for the Victorian Relay Championships. And receiving the gold medals and champions in the 50+ men's category for 2019, please congratulate Box Hill Athletic Club, Michael Urey, Tony Langelin, Christopher O'Connor and John Mia. So a big hand and congratulations to Box Hill, to Doncaster Athletic Club and Keeler St Bernards in the men's 4x1500 50+ age category. So we're now calling all of the open women 4x1500s to the start line. So all 4x1500s open women to the start line. So we're now 5 minutes away from the start, so please make your way to the assembly points. Make sure you are in position. So next up on the track is the women's 4x1500 metres for the open age category. In lane 1 we've got Athletics Nunawading, in lane 2 Athletics Essendon, in 3 Deakin Athletic Club, in 4 Glen Huntly, in 5 Melbourne University and in 6 St Stephen Harriers. Combined event here, we've also got the 40+ women running in the 4x1500s, and in the 40+ we have Diamond Valley. In 8 we've got Glen Huntly Athletic Club, and in 9 the Bendigo region. So 9 teams will compete in the 4x15, 3 of those 40+ and 6 of the open women's relay teams. So once again, please make sure you have assembled and your team are ready to compete. And we will be shortly underway at 11:25 for event number 4 and 5 in today's timetable. So we've now had word from one of the officials. We're now looking for Athletics Non-Awarding, St Stephen Harriers and Melbourne University in the open moment to report in urgently and immediately. So it's urgent that you attend before 15 minutes before. So it's a 15-minute before assembly, and we will be critical on times today. We are running a fast and efficient timetable, so it's important for all clubs and teams to report in on time. So that's 15 minutes before each of your race starts in order to be applied with leg numbers and to register your intention to compete. If you don't register before the cut-off, then we will mark you down as a DNS, and unfortunately you will not be able to compete in today's competition. So as the girls start assembling on the start line, in lane 1, Athletics Non-Awarding. In 2, Athletics Essendon. In 3, Deakin Athletic Club. In 4, Glen Huntly Athletic Club. In 5, there's been a scratch-in. Melbourne University have scratched. In 6, St Stephen Harriers. And in the 40-plus age category, in 7, Diamond Valley Athletic Club. In lane 8, Glen Huntly Athletic Club. And in 9, Bendigo Region. So that's the 8 team competitors in today's 4x1500s in the open and women's 40-plus. Just before we get underway with this event, I must stress it is important, highly important, that all teams report in 15 minutes before the event. We've already had 3 events where teams have reported in late. I have had word from the competition director that that will no longer happen. So please make sure you do report in on time. We're now in the starting hand for event 4 and 5. So away they go in the open women 4x15 and also the 40-plus 4x15. We'll keep you updated as we progress through the competition. But the most important thing, I've just heard word from Box Hill Athletic Club, the barbecue is now up and running. So if you are looking to stock up, looking to fuel up, the barbecue is up and running. And Box Hill will be selling refreshments, sausages and burgers throughout today's competition. Please make sure you are fed and watered throughout today and pop down to the Box Hill Barbecue for a friendly face and a burger or a sausage. So for you, those of you in the live stream, we welcome you. If you've just tuned in, welcome to Box Hill. You've brought the sunshine with you. And you will note that there has been a change in the commentary team. Our Chief Executive, Glenn Turner, is on leave at the moment, sunning himself in Vietnam, and also Tim Crosby, our recreational team leader from Athletics Victoria, is on his travels in South America also. So we pass our hellos across to the national viewing spectators out there. But here back in Victoria, the sun is shining and we are well into the timetable for the Track Relay Championships for 2019. So while we are just underway on the track though, just a quick reminder that substitutions and check-in does need to be complete 75 minutes before the race starts. So we ask you to please make sure that all start lists, check-in sheets and substitutions are processed 75 minutes in advance. We also ask that age groups are checked by the team manager. The age groups are as at 31st of December. So that's 31st of December of this year. So please make sure you do comply with the rules and regulations on the age groups. We are streaming this live across the nation. We're streaming it live on YouTube through our Athletics Victoria YouTube page. So a big thank you to David Armstrong, and it looks like Hamish Bowman is leading the charge there on the camera. So we are streaming, as I mentioned. We also have live results. So if you are looking to keep track of today's results, please make sure you tune into the newly established and developed Results Hub application. So the application is online through Results Hub on the Athletics Victoria webpage, and that will keep you up to date with the live results. It will also show you the ladders for AVSL, some hot changes, some real big changes actually happening through round 5, and some key movers and shifters within the divisions, especially in Premier and Division 2. All top 4 teams have made their power play, so interesting developments after round 5. We're not even at the halfway stage within AVSL, so the strategies will come into play in the second half of the AVSL season. So at the moment, out on the track, Glenn Huntley lead the way. And hot on the heels is Athletics Essendon. We also have a special birthday in the venue today. One of our Victorian officials, Brian Moore, is 82 today. So a big happy birthday to Brian. One of our esteemed start team operators. And he is starting events today, so if you do get the chance, wish him happy birthday. 82 today, and he's been officiating for, I believe, probably 80 of those years. So yeah, so big happy birthday there to Brian. But as we then move back to the track, a changeover from Glenn Huntley. And it is critical, especially in these conditions with the sweat and the heat. The humidity does play a part. It's important to make sure that the changeovers are carried out efficiently and effectively. So at the moment, Glenn Huntley lead the charge, closely followed by Athletics Essendon. And it's Deacon by St. Stephen's. So they're quite evenly spread at the moment. Glenn Huntley slightly extending the lead from the last lap. So it's a fine performance there from Glenn Huntley as they take the charge. Once again, the Box Hill barbecue is open. If you're looking to get some morning refreshments, please head down to the Box Hill Athletic Barbecue in the kiosk, and they'll happily serve you up one of their tasty treats or refreshments, and they'll be selling beverages and food throughout today's competition. So you don't already know, Zatopek is only a matter of weeks away. Saturday, the 14th of December, here at Box Hill. The big one, Zatopek, on Saturday, the 14th of December. And what that means, as I mentioned before, 14th of December, it's the countdown towards Christmas. So for all those athletes out there that have coaches in mind, you do have an opportunity still to get out into the shops, avoid the Chadston rush, get down there to purchase some goods for your coaches or family members, friends, families, dogs, pets. Make sure you do get that Christmas list into Santa Claus. So, as I mentioned, Saturday the 14th of December, Zatopek here at Box Hill Athletic Club, and we'll welcome you all down here for another spectacular of athletics competition. So it's still Glenn Huntley from Deakin. And the gap has slightly closed. So this will be interesting as the changeovers commence. The gap has slightly closed. So it's Glenn Huntley, Deakin, St. Stephen's. 9 laps to go. So in preparation for this afternoon, you will notice that out on the infield we have the pens in position. For those of you that are familiar with the Relay Championships or even the XCR competition, the pens are there to assemble the teams later on for the 4x100 metres. So we will be calling those teams out this afternoon. So it's important when we do call you, the assembly point is the infield, and we'll have Athletics Victoria staff on hand to make sure that we marshal you effectively and efficiently to make sure you are out to the changeovers on time. So it's still Glenn Huntley and Deakin battling it out for the 1-2. Strong lead, but the gap is closing quite considerably. 30-metre closure there, fine run there from Deakin. Now turn our attention back to the infield for the presentations. This time the men's 4x1500 metre relay for the open age category. And receiving the bronze medals, please put your hands together and congratulate St. Kevin's B team. Jonathan Guzman, Matthew Lynch, Callum Day and Tristan Mione. And our silver medalists, put your hands together and congratulate Mentone Athletic Club, Robert Capp, Sam Bunnage, Lockie Moorhouse and Michael Kernahan. And our 2019 4x1500 metre open men's champions, please put your hands together for St. Kevin's A team. Alexander Rowe, Ben Moynihan, Stephen Nucky and Tristan Day. So big congratulations there to St Kevin's, also to Mentone and St Kevin's B team, the men's 4x1500 metre open relay. So back on the track for the open women and also the 40 plus. Glenn Huntley still lead the charge. But once again, as mentioned before, the gap is closing, and it's closing even further now on the third leg. It's Glenn Huntley, Deacon, St Stephen's, so the temperature is heating up. It's 21 degrees now down on the track here at Box Hill. And flickerings of the sunshine between the cloud cover. And athletes will be looking for that cloud cover at some stage throughout today, especially in these 4x1500s. So if you are just joining us on the live stream or within the venue, an update on event number 6, the one event at 12 p.m, the mixed under 18 4x400. This event will no longer commence and will go at final time as per the rules and regulations set out. And this will now go on Saturday the 14th of December at Zatopek. So the final will now go at Zatopek on the Saturday the 14th of December. For the mixed under 18 4x400 relay. So that gap has changed drastically now. It's Glenn Huntley from Deacon. But Deacon just now extending the legs and looking to create some gap between Glenn Huntley and St Stephen's. So this is an urgent call for the Old Scotch team manager to report into administration. So that's the Old Scotch team manager to report into administration, please. So in the 40 plus, we've got Diamond Valley, Glen Huntly and Bendigo still competing for the title. And in the open, as we head for 2 laps to go, it's Deacon from Glen Huntly. So the Glen Huntly gap between Deacon was originally between 60 to 80 metres. It's now an extension there from Deacon to Glen Huntly of approximately 50 to 60 metres. So Deacon continue to extend their lead in the open women's category. And Deacon really getting into their stride at this point. Some tough conditions out there, so we do ask the clubs and the spectators get behind all teams in today's track relays. And some strategies across the season already been played out. We did have the AVSL relays round 2 weeks ago, which was an opportunity for the teams to set their strategy, to pick their team, to operate trials and selections, and whittle it down to the last. So we hit the bell and Deacon lead the way. So it's Esther Keon from Deacon who leads. And Dana Deckers hits the bell, and already we've got a 100-metre gap now between Deacon and Glen Huntly. So we'll wait to see the third runner coming through. And it's Athletics Essendon in that third place, overtaken St. Stephen's. So it's Esther Keon from Deacon Athletic Club who hits the straight. And she'll look to finish in lane 3. It's a fine performance there from Esther and also from Deacon as they take the line in the open women's 4x15. Some fine running there from the Deacon athletes. So we see Dana Deckers now from Glen Huntly, 30 metres out from the finish line to take second. And a fine performance also from the Glen Huntly athletic team. And Lauren Connell there from Athletics Essendon, getting Athletics Essendon across the line for the bronze medal. And a reminder that there are still athletes out there on the track. So please make sure you do get them as they cross the line or extend for the finish line in the final lap. So once again, the track is open on the back straight, so we do ask you to try and maintain the exposure on the back straight. So the track is open on the back for warm-up. We do ask you, if you are competing, to assemble within the 15-minute time slot. So it's a 15-minute assembly time slot. And we ask, if you are competing, for all athletes, only competing athletes on the track other than the back straight. We ask you for your cooperation to make sure that we provide a safe venue for the athletes out on the track. So please make sure you do keep to the back straight for warm-up. So once again, we ask all athletes that are on the track only. We have athletes competing, so please make sure you are not warming up on the track at any time. And please do not cross the line, which will operate photo finish. So athletes, please make sure you do keep to the back straight for warm-up at all times. So if you're looking at the timetable and wondering about the 12 o'clock event, the mixed under 18 4x400 relay has been cancelled. So the heats of that event have been cancelled, and now the final will run at final time on Saturday the 14th of December at Zatopek. So we will be back here for Zatopek on that date. And we are still expecting the mixed open 4x4 heats at 12:10. So we'll be looking to assemble shortly. So at 12:10 we'll get underway for the mixed open 4x400 relays. We're not too far off, 12:25 also for the start of the medley timed finals, the anticipated medley relays. And the order will be a 2, 2, 4 and 800. So this is where clubs, teams will look to apply some strategy around the event, some of these selections. So once again, the under 16 medley will commence at 12:25. And also a reminder to make sure you hydrate throughout the day. Conditions are warm now in Melbourne. Please make sure also you stay sun smart. Please make sure you wear a hat at all times and also apply sunscreen. The sun is now at peak and it's now looking at 21 degrees on Box Hill and down on the track. So it would be remiss of me at this stage also to remind all the athletics fraternity that within the news recently you would have seen 500 days to go until the World Cross Country Championships in Bathurst 2021. So the host nation Australia will stage the World Cross Country Championships in 2021 in Bathurst. And the countdown is on towards the event. So we do expect and anticipate a full crowd to head up to Bathurst to arrange the transport and accommodation in advance to head up into the home of motorsport, which will now turn and become the home of athletics for the week in March the 20th, 2021. So well done there from Glenn Huntley. Finishing off in the 40+ age category. And as mentioned, the conditions are tough out there. It is warming up. It's the 23rd of November today, so we are, would you believe, approaching summer. So we have had quite a mixed spring, certainly, and looking forward to a summer season ahead for competition. But also November does play an important role for a number of people. You will notice, especially on the male contingent, a number of top lip caterpillars, moustaches. It is Movember. We're heading to a critical period, 23rd, with 10 days or so to go, less than 10 days. So you will see a number of bushy top lip caterpillars out there. So if you do notice anybody with a fine moustache, make sure you sponsor them, because it is for a good cause, for men's health. For men's health. So please make sure you do donate to a worthy cause. So we are now looking to start assembling the the mixed open 4x400 teams. So if you are looking to compete in the mixed open 4x400, we do ask you now to start assembling. Down at the start line. And once again, you will have noticed the changing commentary team. Myself, flying solo today, Glenn Turner, our Chief Executive. And would you believe, on cue, the effervescent Nick Wall has just turned up, looking very bright and green in his Australia national kit. So once again, Glenn Turner, our Chief Executive, is in Vietnam at the moment, earning some well-deserved respite, and also Tim Crosby is on his travels in South America. So it may be myself and Nick Wall for the short term, but certainly Nick Wall will lead into the finals and take home the glory leg this afternoon for the 2019 Victorian Track Relay Championships. Apologies there, I believe the mic was on. And yet again we hear the booming voice of Nick Wall. So Nick Wall has just arrived, so we will be shortly combining forces on the commentary team. And the officials are looking now to assemble the mixed open 4x4 for the heats. We'll shortly be underway in 10 minutes time on the track. And this looks to be a strong competition. Some big hitters out there already assembling. Well, it looks like we are now ready with the presentations for the 4x1500 metre open women's relay. So receiving the bronze medals, please put your hands together and congratulate Athletics Essendon, Anna Kasapis, Emily Mises, Amy Youngfer and Lauren Connell. And in second position, receiving the silver medals, please put your hands together and congratulate Glen Huntly Athletic Club, Kelly Hetherington, Vanessa Wilson, Rebecca Beagley and Dana Deckers. And our gold medalists in 2019 4x1500 metre open champions, please put your hands together and congratulate Deakin Athletic Club, Bridget Humphrey, Jessica Jason, Isabel Girardi and Essa Keown. So a big hand there for Deakin, for Glen Huntly and Athletics Essendon in the women's open 4x1500 metres.
Thanks, Ross. So we are going to be moving shortly to our mixed 4x4. Some interesting orders here. A few teams are going, the majority of teams are going with their first male runner and last male runner, first and fourth, with the girls in the middle. But a couple of teams here are going girl-girl. So it'll be interesting to see how quick the boys can come home on that third and fourth leg. There'll be two heats. We are only running one heat. We are only running one team out of the heats here. There'll be 9 teams for 8 spots, with the final will be just after 6 o'clock later today. So mixed 4x4, now an Olympic and World Championship event. So it certainly has a lot more meaning in recent years. Some of the traditional 4x4 clubs here trying to balance out getting qualified through to the Zatopek in the men's and women's team, as well as having a mixed team on the track. A couple of the girls from the 4x1500, I noticed they're from Deakin, are backing up now in the mixed 4x4. So our first runners are coming down the track now in heat number 1. It'll be lane 3, Melbourne University. That's Dilly De Silva, Jasper Sheehan, Elizabeth Rauch and Sophia Davis anchoring. Lane 4, Ringwood, Stephen Dang, Danielle Shaw, Blake Dobay, Claire Hurley. Lane 5 will be Athletics Nunawading. That's Monique LaRose, Nicholas Arefta, Nicole Pennings and Corey Robinson. Lane 6, Deakin Athletic. The man with the huge legs, Fraser Russell, Isabel Gerardi, Bridget Humphrey, Ashley Humphrey. Good to see the husband and wife team there, 3rd and 4th leg. And in lane 7, from Olds of Arians, it'll be Oscar Hunter, Olivia Yacono, Elizabeth Heading and Angus Dalton. 5 teams. It will be heat number 1, mixed 4x4. Reminder, athletes on the back straight, can we now please clear the back straight? We do have a mixed 4x4s about to make their way around. So athletes warming up, could you make your way now off the back straight, please? Heat number 1 behind their blocks. So from the inside, Melbourne University, Ringwood, Nunawading, Deakin and Olds of Arians. Fraser Russell moving up nicely on the outside already. Delina De Silva on the inside. And at the moment, Monique LaRose just going to try to keep that gap as close as she can, being the only female at the track at the moment for Nunawading. They go through 200. Fraser Russell goes through in about 22 mid. He looks in good shape. Oscar Hunter on his outside. Delina De Silva now making a move on Stephen Dang. You've got 4 Victorian 400-metre hurdlers here. It's a good group. Fraser Russell out the front with 100 to go on this first leg. De Silva and Hunter, the training partners, next in Melbourne University and Olds of Arians and Dang from Ringwood. But at the first change, it'll be Deakin. He looks around. He's put a good first leg in, and it's Deakin from Melbourne University. Olds of Arians next. Then it is Ringwood. Nunawading now, they're going to have a big second leg here with the male second runner. But out front, Melbourne University, they're going male-male. Next here, it's Deakin Geelong. Behind that, you've got Danielle Shaw, and you've also got Livia Iacono. That's Ringwood and Old Zavarians. So 4 teams here, and they only have to knock off 1 team, but Nunawading, remember, have still got 2 males to go. But out in front with 150 to go of this second leg, it's Melbourne University. Tight battle next between Deakin, Ringwood, Old Zavarians. So it will be Melbourne University to change first. Livia Iacono for Old Zavarians, making a big move on the outside of Danielle Shaw. That's a big leg from Liv. And they're off there. It's Lizzie Heading, much more known for her long jumping. She's second, chasing Melbourne University. Ringwood going hard here. They're going to anchor their last leg with a female runner, so they need to get some space. Nunawading's moving up. They'll finish male runner, while Deakin now got some work to do because they're going female home. 150 to go now on the third leg. Melbourne University looking terrific. That's Elizabeth Rauch, I think, out there. Ringwood making a big move, and the long jumper heading from Old Zavarians in third. Deakin Geelong fighting tough. It's a big battle here. Bridget's just done her 4x15. Now she's on the track in the 4x4. But it's Melbourne University, Ringwood, Old Zavarians, Deakin, back to Nunawading. Melbourne University, I don't think will be caught from there. Ringwood will be next. These teams will comfortably go through to the final. Remember, top 3 comfortably go through. Angus Dalton will be next for Old Zavarians. And then Ash Humphrey getting the baton off his wife there. Look at that for club support. Wife to husband on the last leg for Deakin Geelong. But it's all Melbourne University out in front. Ringwood look like they're going to get caught here in second. Old Zavarians and Deakin going along quite comfortably. Can Nunawading make up the 80 metres to go from 5th to 5th into the top 4? He's giving a big crack down the back straight, Nunawading. So Ringwood's got 1A to go in second, but it's all Melbourne University out front. Old Zavarians will get into second. Deakin's trying to get into the top 3. And Nunawading, they've got 40 metres down with 100 to go. Can he catch Ringwood? But out in front, Melbourne University. Old Zavarians will be next through. Deakin, Ringwood, Nunawading. He had 80 metres to catch up with 300 to go. Will he get there? He won't quite. That's a big run from Ringwood. Well done. She's held on well.
Wow, Nick. Exciting event there in the mixed 4x400. A little bit of a mix-up there, the changeover on Ringwood on the second changeover, but exciting stuff. What do you make of that, Nick Wall?
I said in the lead up there, Ross, it was all going to come down to some of these orders. We had Melbourne Uni won that one, and I think, what did they go? They've gone boy first and second. So interesting orders. In the final later on today, we'll see if any of those teams switch up with some new runners coming in. But I think it does come down to who can be pretty gutsy and courageous in that last 100 as you got the male runners coming over the top of you. And we saw there, Ringwood were able to hold on as Nunawading tried to catch them in the last 100.
Yeah, a real dominating performance there from Melbourne University. They're the team setting the benchmark at this point in time. So we now cross back across to the presentation podium. And I believe we're ready to go with the presentations. So the presentation now for the 40 plus women's 4x1500 metre relay, and receiving the bronze medals. Please put your hands together and congratulate Glen Huntly Athletic Club, Heather Carr, Rosalind Walker, Helen Rainey, and Lisa Derrimond. And receiving the silver medals, put your hands together and congratulate Diamond Valley Athletic Club. Marion Murray, Serena Marriott, Karen Quinn, and Laura Campbell. And our gold medalists for the 40+ women's age category. Put your hands together. Big cheer for Bendigo region. Catherine Higney, Debbie Kern, Jill Wilkie, and Andrea Smith. So well done there to Bendigo region, also to Diamond Valley, and to Glenn Huntley in the women's 4x1500 metre 40+.
Thanks, Ross. The next event on the track will be Heat 2 of the mixed 4x4. Every team here is starting with a female runner. In lane number 3 will be Athletics Essendon. That's Alana Grandine, Michaela Silindiakos, Vishnu Satish, and Marcus Guglielmino. From lane 4 will be Doncaster. That's Steph Larkin, Daniel McDowell, David Mitchell, Hugh Parrott. In 5, Athletics Essendon, Sarah Connell, Noel White, Chris Vu, and Stella McNamara. And in 6, from Glen Huntley Athletics Club, Kelly Hetherington. Great to see her back on the track. Michael Chochos, Kiara Losty, and Luke Major. Glen Huntley will be the team to beat in heat number 2. Just making sure we line up athletes here okay. We are ready to go. We're just checking our 2nd, 3rd and 4th runners here back behind the starter. Just a reminder to those athletes warming up, can you please remove yourself from the high jump area and make your way to the long jump space? The long jump space in the front straight is available for your warm-ups. Ready to go, heat number 2.
On your mark.
So it's Essendon, Doncaster, Essendon B, and Glen Huntley. Glen Huntley, as I said, the one here predicted to be out in front. That's Kelly Hetherington, former Australian 800-metre representative, making a really good return to form recently. Chasing on her inside, Stephanie Larkin, the state champion 400-metre hurdler, and the man making the biggest move thus far is Alana Grandine of Essendon. So through 200 metres, it'll be Grandine going through in 26 high. And she's going up to the shoulder of Doncaster in Larkin, and Glen Huntley Hetherington out wide with the 2nd Essendon team, just dropping off the pace as we get through 250 metres this first leg. Grandine's been very hard early for Essendon, tightening up a little bit, but fighting on strong. Hetherington looking strong coming home, as you'd expect from the 800-metre runner. Larkin also pushing through well in this first leg. So Essendon will change just in front of Glen Huntley. Next it'll be Doncaster in 3rd. So Essendon out in front. Glen Huntley, that's Chochos. Michael Chochos, the Greek goddess from Greek goddess. He looks like a goddess with that hair mowing at the back, but the Greek god from Glen Huntly taking the lead there. Second is Essendon, Doncaster third, the second Essendon team in fourth. Remember here, 3 teams automatically progress through to the final. So through 200, Glen Huntly now pulling away comfortably. Essendon will be next on the track, Doncaster and Essendon's number 2 team. So remember, top 3 automatically through to the final. Glen Huntly changed first. So they'll get comfortably through here. No one's going to catch Kira Losty there on this one. Actually, Vishnu Satish, he's the man who probably can catch Kira Losty. Doncaster, Dave Mitchell carrying that bodysuit in style for Doncaster will change third. And Essendon fourth. So out front it's Glen Huntly. Satish, the man from Essendon in second. Dave Mitchell flying now the first bend for Doncaster and Essendon's number 2 team. So still a chance here for Essendon's number 2 team. They're chasing the time of heat number 1. That was Ringwood and Nunawading who were 4th and 5th. Satish has gone to the lead, which means Essendon has hit the front. I said Glen Huntly were the ones to beat here, but Essendon are looking terrific. Big run here for Essendon. Glen Huntly's got some work to do, and it's Luke Major, the 400 metre hurdler. Formerly of WA, now in the Glen Huntly colours. It's Essendon out in front. They'll change 35 metres in front of Glen Huntly. Doncaster hits the straight in third. And Essendon's second team are now making their way into this race, but Stella McNamara is going to have a tough job chasing down Hugh Parrott of Doncaster. So Essendon comfortably in front. Luke Major just cruising around the first bend. Doncaster goes off next, and then it's Essendon. So Essendon's needing to chase the time of heat number 1 here to qualify through. So that's what Stella's looking for, trying to see if she can match the Nunawading and Ringwood times. But the order won't change out in front. It'll be Essendon, Glen Huntly, Doncaster and Essendon B in heat number 2. Essendon have just switched off here. That's a comfortable win in heat number 2. Glen Huntly will come through second. Doncaster will make sure a third. And Essendon's number 2 team will be 4th. And we'll have to wait for the clock to see whether they qualify through to our final at 6:10 p.m. today. And nice last leg there for Stella McNamara. We'll have to wait for times. It was a tick over 4 minutes. I didn't get the clock on the first heat to tell you what those Ringwood and Nunawading times were. Apologies, but we will find out shortly.
Wow, some exciting racing there. Looks like Melbourne Uni really have set the benchmark for the mixed 4x400s, in particular heading into the final later on today. Last event on the programme at 6:30. We're now counting down towards the Medley time final. So the under 16 women at 12:25. So in a couple of minutes time, the medley relay. So we are now looking or expecting all of the under 16 women medley athletes to assemble. So please make sure you do assemble on the blue tent at the finish line. And the second runners on the far side. Please make sure you do assemble at your changeover point. So we do ask you that you assemble at your changeover point. It does make the process much easier for yourselves and for the officials on the day. So 2 heats in the under 16 women's relay, in the medley relay. And the start list for heat 1. In lane 3, we've got the team from Sandringham Athletic Club. In lane 4, Athletics Essendon. In 5, Geelong Gill. In 6, Box Hill Athletic Club. And in 7, Mornington Peninsula. That is your start list for the first heat of the under 16 women's medley relay. So this is the last and final call for all athletes in the under 16 medley relay to please assemble at your changeover point. Can't stress how imperative it is to make sure you are on time, so do give yourself plenty time to make sure you go through the process and assemble within the 15-minute time slot. So once again, the start list for the first heat, the under 16 women's medley relay. In lane 3, Sandringham Athletic Club. In 4, Athletics Essendon. In 5, Geelong Gill. In 6, Box Hill. And in 7, Mornington Peninsula. This makes up heat 1 of event 8. The final of this event will go later today.
No, we're at time finals, Ross. We're at time finals. So these guys are 2-time finals. So times are vital for those athletes on the track because the 2 heats will be compared, the 2 finals will be compared. So our medalists could come from heat 1 or 2. So a few talented athletes in this field here under 16s. Sandringham are going to be led off by 2 Victorian champions there in Hannah Cote and Jessica Malat. Again, athletes, can we please clear this main straight? You can no warm-ups, please, on the track. We're about to start the medley.
So once again, 1 of 2 time finals. Sandringham in 3, Essendon 4, Geelong 5, Box Hill 6, Mornington Peninsula in 7.
Could the photographer move back, please? On your marks. Stand up, please. Could the official in the green shirt move back? I can't see lane 7. On your marks.
So from the inside, Sandringham, Athletics Essendon, Geelong Gill, Box Hill and Mornington Peninsula. Sandringham here would be the ones to beat, I imagine. You've got Victorian champions on all first 3 legs there in Cote, Malat, Skerry. They are moving very well. That's Hannah Cote on the inside, but Jessica Lim from Box Hill's the other one moving well in lane 6. Change number 1 though, it's Sandringham, Box Hill. Between them, Geelong Gill moving well. Back to Essendon and Mornington Peninsula. So this is the second 200 metre leg. They'll pass onto the 400 metre runners. And like 400 metre runners do, they will cut in on the back straight. But it's Sandringham. Geelong Guild now making a move on Box Hill. Mornington Peninsula. And then back to Athletics Essendon. So they change here and it's Sandringham. Mia Skerry, the national champion over multiple events. Very talented heptathlete, takes it first. Second here will be Box Hill, and that's Charlie Power, who we saw run very well at the All Schools. One of the home track favourites of Tony Marsh's. Next it's Geelong Guild, then Mornington Peninsula and Athletics Essendon. So Sandringham moving away from Box Hill, but they're working together with Guild. Back to Mornington Peninsula, and there's some pedigree in this runner. That Mornington Peninsula Athletes is Lily Power Reeves. Susie Power, of course, is Zatopek champion not that many years ago, but one of the superstars of the Zatopek, and it is Mornington Peninsula now moving into fourth. But out in front, Sandringham not quite putting the gap on I expected. Box Hill and Guild are making some ground in second and third. Sandringham will change first. This last 800 metre leg is going to be a really big one. Sandringham will change first. Then it's now Box Hill and Guild side by side. That was a good change for Geelong Guild. Next to Peninsula and also Athletics Essendon. So 2 laps. The race goes from fast and it gradually gets a little bit slower and comes tactical. Remember though, we're also watching the clock here. It is not just the places that matter, but the times on the 2 timed finals. So this is the final leg, the 800 metre leg. Sandringham have extended their lead, but Guild and Box Hill are able to work together there in second and third. Essendon Peninsula look like they're out of it at the moment, but they are battling on well in fourth and fifth. So Sandringham comes through with a lap to go. So Sandringham lead it through. Guild next. Box Hill sitting on her shoulder beautifully. Then back to Essendon and Peninsula. The gap has closed a little bit in that last 150. So Sandringham doing a lot of hard work by herself, and that is Louisa Lazar out in front. The 2 athletes together is Sophie Coltish. We saw her in great shape at the Milers Club recently. And she's with Ruby Marr, another Box Hill athlete here. Ruby Marr's the one though that's going to be making the big ground. Can Box Hill do it for the local club? Box Hill's closed the gap. It was 40, it's now to 20. It's going to be 15 metres with 200 to go. Sandringham fighting strong. Box Hill back to Guild. Mornington Peninsula making a little move and Essendon on the back straight. 150 to go and it's Ruby Marr flying the Box Hill flag. She's gone straight to the front. At the Steve Ellinghouse corner, she's done a big kick there. Sandy now have to fight hard to hold off Sophie Coltish of Geelong Guild. But with 50 to go, Box Hill are not going to get caught here. Geelong Guild are just going to steal second. It was a gutsy run from Sandringham. But it will be Box Hill. It looks like just a tad under 4:10. Guild in second, Sandringham third. I imagine we're somewhere around the 4:15 for third, so we'll watch the clock for time final number 2. Peninsula have run home very well, and Essendon round out our field in time final number 1.
All clear, Peter.
So approximate only, but about 4:10 is the time to beat. 4:15 will get you on the dais at the moment. So hit time final number 1. Sandringham led for 1,450 metres. So time final number 2 here. We'll have Nunawading in 3. The Ballarat region in 4, Wellington 5, Frankston Athletic Club 6, and Sandringham B in 7. So we are racing for medals here. As we said, roughly, approximately, we'll wait for the official results, but about 4:10 approximately is the time to beat. About 4:15 to get in the top three.
So we're now almost underway with the second of the time finals. And this is the second heat.
And we're ready to go.
So the start list for the under 16 second heat. In 3, Athletics Nunawading. In 4, Ballarat Region. In 5, Wellington Athletic Club. In 6, Frankston Athletic Club. And in 7, Sandringham Athletic Club B team. The starters on the stand, so I'll hand you across to our start team.
On your mark. Set.
So from the inside, Nunawading, Grace Kelly of Ballarat, now the fastest mover, Wellington, Frankston and Sandringham. So Grace Kelly, our Victorian junior champion, flying through here. I think she's only an under 14 or 15 athlete, but she's making a big first leg here for under 16 Ballarat region. Great to see our country parts of Victoria represented. So Ballarat will change first, and it was a good change. Frankston will change second. Then we go back to Sandringham, Nunawading, and also Wellington. Now we come down to the home straight for the first time. Ballarat just holding off Frankston. Out wide at Sandringham's B team. Nunawading and Wellington next through. Ballarat, whoa, she's gone quick there, and it's a good change again. Ballarat getting the little things right. Frankston in second. Sandringham B having a little bit of a pirouette there at the change, but they've done okay. Wellington, the next quickest mover on the track at the moment, and Nunawading. So we've gone through 500 metres of this 1600. It's Ballarat putting 80 trying to put out 80 metres into Frankston very quickly. Good battle in third there. That's Wellington and Sandringham B back to Nunawading. So with 1,000 metres to go in this medley relay, it's Ballarat out in front. The time they're chasing is about 4:10 approximately. Wellington's gone from 5th to 2nd on this leg. That's a big run there by Ada Hill. So Ada Hill on the 400 is moving quickly. Ballarat still lead. Wellington, Frankston, Sandy B and Nunawading making a big finish down this 400 metre leg. So with 800 metres to go, we're going to need about a 2:16 for the win for Ballarat. Has she got it in? I'm not sure. I can't give you the form of Chloe Warmington there on the last leg, but that's what they need to get onto the win. About 2:21 to get onto the podium. Wellington's next. Then it's Nunawading, Sandringham, Frankston. Wellington might be the one to watch here. I was worried about the Ballarat, could they run the time to get on the podium, but Wellington might be the one that actually takes them in this time final number 2. They are clearly the fastest mover, and it is Bianca Croucher there who's flying along for the Wellington colours. So we've got regional clubs leading the way here. Ballarat Region, Wellington Athletics, then back to Nunawading, Sandringham B and Frankston. So with 500 to go, Ballarat now will be joined by Wellington. We'll give you a time update as they go through at the bell. I think it's going to be pretty tough to get on the podium from here. It's going to be a big last lap from Bianca Croucher to get there, but she is a chance. She's moving well. So Bianca Croucher goes through for Wellington at about 3:08. Ballarat's next. Then we go back to Nunawading, Sandy B and Frankston. Wellington's had a big last leg here, but can it be enough? The time we're watching is about 4:10, 4:15. Remember, might get you a medal. She's got 250 metres to go, Wellington. Ballarat's gutsy, holding on in second. Nunawading, Sandy B having a look over her shoulder, and she sees Frankston not far away. 200 metres remaining. Bianca Crouch has pulled away here. She started with about a 60-metre differential and she's now turned into a 60-metre lead. Been a big last leg for Wellington. Ballarat region hanging on in second. Nunawading, Sandy B and Frankston, not much has changed in the last 200 metres there. With 100 to go, I don't think we're quite going to get on the podium for Wellington, but it's been a big run here. Clap them home. We've got our Wellington team there. It'll take out time final number 2. Might be just outside those top 3 of the first time final, but it was a fantastic last leg there for Wellington. Ballarat after the early leader, they'll be the second team through. Big run for our Ballarat region. And Nunawading, Sandy B and Frankston are going to fight out the minor places here in time final number 2. So Sandringham will just hold off the Sandringham, Nunawading will just hold off the Sandringham B team and Frankston. So all clear in time final number 2. I think we'll find our medalists from time final number 1, but a great race there from our regional teams, Wellington and Ballarat region in time final number 2. So the under-16 boys will be next on the track.
So next up on the track is the under-16 men's medley relay time finals. And the first of the time finals in lane 2, Box Hill Athletic Club. In 3, Collingwood Harriers. In 4, Athletics Essendon. In 5, Old Scotch Athletic Club. In 6, Keeler St Bernards. In 7, St Kevin's. And in lane 8, Sandringham Athletic Club. That's your 7 for the first of the time finals in the under-16 men's medley relay. It was Box Hill, Collingwood, Athletics Essendon, Old Scotch, Keeler St Bernards, St Kevin's and Sandringham Athletic Club.
On your mark. Set. Stand up, please. Can you hear me in lane 6 or 7?
Keeler St Bernards, can you hear there? Give us a wave if you can hear.
No false start. On your marks.
So I'll go from the outside, and that is Sandringham, St Kevin's, Keilor St Bernard's, Old Scotch, Athletics Essendon, Collingwood, Athletic and Box Hill. Scotch making a good move in the middle, and it looks like it is. It's 9-man Rango Chen moving very well. On the inside, Box Hill, Sebastian Beck also moving through the field nicely. So change number 1, it'll be Box Hill who changed first. Scotch was a little bit scrappy on the changes. I hope that's not a result of your schoolwork there, Liana Joyce. On the inside now it is Box Hill doing very nicely. Scotch on the outside and then hammering through well. It looks like Sandringham. Sandringham's the big mover on the second leg. But right now it's Box Hill who'll change just in front. He's not moving much. It's a standing change. That's a new one for Box Hill. Got some work to do on their changes, but Scotch will change second. Sandringham third. Collingwood, Essendon, Keilor St Bernard's and St Kevin's. So Box Hill, a big first 100 metres to make up for the slightly sluggish change. Scotch in second. This is the 400 metre leg. Sandringham third. Collingwood moving well. Essendon, Keilor St Bernard's and back to St Kevin's. So with 1,000 metres to go in this 1,600 metre medley, Scotch are trying to make this an APS bookend by being first with St Kevin's out the back. The big mover though is Sandringham. Scotch now do that, they move to the lead. Sandringham though is going to go past these two like they're standing still. Sandringham will change first. And that'll be Ben Horsey passing over to Julian Horsey. Great to see the Hailbury boys there for Sandringham changing in first. Scotch takes the lead back. Box Hill sitting on them. Essendon, Collingwood, Keilor St Bernard's. How much ground can St Kevin's make up on this last leg? Scotch just sitting a little bit. Remember, these are time finals again, gentlemen. You are racing for a time. Sandringham looking quite comfortable in second. Box Hill trying to pounce there. That's, of course, Isaac there, one of the Box Hill local boys. Essendon, Collingwood, Keilor St Bernard's, St Kevin's. So 500 metres to go. It's a racing two at the moment with Box Hill trying to get involved. One lap to go. Ding, 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 ding. 2:47, they go through. We're going to watch the times here. Nice work, Wolfgang, there it is from Collingwood moving well. Essendon, Keilor St Bernard's. St Kevin's making a good move. So the field is now tightened up. It's about 80 metres between all of them with 250 to go. It's a big run here from Scotch. He's not going to give up that position. That's Robert Barber trying to keep Julian Horsey of Sandringham wide, and he does it beautifully. Good tactical middle distance racing. So Horsey's trying to do it the long way from home, running in lane 2 on the outside of Scotch. Box Hill have got to hang on now to make sure Keilor St Bernard's and Collingwood don't catch him. But with 100 to go, Scotch, they'll just hit the lead. Sandringham are trying everything. They're throwing everything they can, but it'll be Scotch that looks like they're going to take out time final number 1. So the clock here will be 3:45, 3:46, about 3:48 it looks like, probably 3:50 in second, back to about 3:55. Collingwood finishes next, Keilor St Bernard's, Essendon and St Kevin's. So again, timed final number 2, you're looking at something just under 3 minutes 50. Top 3 looks like about 3:55. So Scotch have laid the marker there in heat number 1. So time final number 2 will be Mornington Peninsula, Doncaster Athletic Club, Athletics Nunawading, Western Athletics, Maccabi Athletic, Glen Huntly and Diamond Valley. So great to see 14 teams representing this under-16 boys medley. A few of these lads also going around in the 4x4 and the 4x1. Some busy schedules for these juniors. As we said, we're about 3:48 the time we're looking for. 3:55 to get into the top 3. Time final number 2, not far away from the start. Under-16 boys medley relay. Just getting behind their blocks again here. We've got Mornington Peninsula, Doncaster, Athletics Nunawading, Western Athletics, Maccabi Athletic, Glen Huntly and Diamond Valley.
On your marks. Set.
So pretty even first leg thus far. I think it might be Athletics Nunawading making the best of the moves in this under-16, and it will be them through 200. And that's Melvin Subramaniam. So Athletics Nunawading will change just in front of Maccabi, Glen Huntly thereabouts. Western Athletics have just playing with the baton at the back end of their box. Hopefully that stays in. We'll wait for the officials to give us a white flag. Glen Huntly with a good bend here on the 200 second leg. Nunawading, Maccabi, Diamond Valley, Doncaster, Western Athletics fixing up, making amends to that change back to Mornington Peninsula. Glen Huntly's gone off quick at the change, and they will change just a tad in front of Athletics Nunawading. Doncaster and Maccabi very quickly joining the race, and the one to watch here is Western Athletics. He's got the baton in 6th, and he's moving through the field very fast indeed. That's Ryan Braithwaite. So Ryan Braithwaite's gone from 6th to 1st in the first 100 metres. Will it pay a toll on him in the back end of this race? We'll wait and see. But Western A's are going to be the one the rest are chasing. Glen Huntly next. Maccabi, Nunawading, Doncaster, Diamond Valley, and back to Mornington Peninsula. So again, the times we're looking for here from time file number 1 was roughly 3:48. Ryan Braithwaite comes through here as a big leg from 6th to 1st, we said. So about a 2:04 will get a win here for Western A's. 2:04 is about what they're looking for on this last leg. Maccabi, Glen Huntly, Doncaster, Nunawading, Diamond Valley and Mornington Peninsula. So Western Athletics, don't forget you're chasing a time here, son. Glen Huntly next, Doncaster quickly chasing them, Maccabi next. Nunawading, Diamond Valley, Mornington Peninsula. This race is by no means over. Glen Huntly, the biggest mover on the track at the moment, and that's Logan Janetsky. So Logan Janetsky chasing down Western Athletics. So Glen Huntly in 2nd, Western A's in 1st. Maccabi moving nicely, Doncaster, Diamond Valley, Nunawading latching on as well. So we're at 2:38 here. I don't think the win's possible, but certainly a medal still up for grabs. It'll need a 60-second last lap. Maccabi's the big mover. Can they get into the top 2? Diamond Valley, Nunawading, Doncaster, not that far back, and Mornington Peninsula hanging on well. But with 300 to go, it's Western Athletics and Glen Huntly out in front. Glen Huntly goes to his shoulder. Glen Huntly goes to the lead. Like we saw in the first heat though, Western A's is not going to give up that inside rail, or does he? Maccabi fighting, it's an ungainly style, but he's not far out of this either. Western A's, he's going to have to go around Glenn Huntley. 150 remaining. They're going to have to work really hard for the medals, boys. Heat number 1, Maccabi's the one I said to watch. I called it with 250. Western A's, Maccabi, Glenn Huntley. Maccabi, stride for stride with Western, and Maccabi will get home. What a last leg. Jared Zakowski, what a run. I said it was a bit ungainly with 250 to go, but he finished beautifully. Western A's was brave. Glenn Huntley hit the lead with 300 to go and couldn't quite hang on. Diamond Valley, Nunawading, Doncaster, Mornington Peninsula. Ross Cunningham, it looks like the medal presentation not far away.
Sure is, Nick. We are just assembling the last of the athletes for the under-16 girls medley relay. So receiving the bronze medals, please put your hands together and congratulate Sandringham Athletic Club, Hannah Colt, Jessica Milat, Mia Skerry and Louisa Lazar. And the last of the Geelong Guild team just in the nick of time for our presentation. So receiving the silver medals, please put your hands together and congratulate Geelong Guild, Indy Dunn, Ashley Mead, Neve Brown and Sophie Coltish. And our under-16 medley girls champions for 2019. Please put your hands together and congratulate Box Hill Athletic Club. Jennifer Lim, Carly Senior, Charlie Power, and Ruby Meyer. So a big hand there for Box Hill, for Geelong and Sandringham, and the under-16 medley girls relay.
And for those Australian-speaking people in the crowd, Ruby Ma was the last runner there for Box Hill.
Thanks for that, Nick. I have spent 4 years saying Carayo, or Corio, as it was pronounced before when I started, so keep me right on those pronunciations.
Heat number 1, timed final number 1 of the under-18 girls sprint medley. In 2 it'll be Sandringham, in 3 Keelos and Bernards, in 4 Athletics Nunawading, 5 Doncaster, 6 Ringwood and 7 Western Athletics. We are about 3 minutes behind schedule. We're running well here. Heat number 1 ready to go. So it looks like no Sandringham here, scratching in lane number 2. So Keelos St Bernards, Athletics Nunawading, Doncaster, Ringwood and Western Athletics. Ringwood's the big mover out wide. Keelos St Bernards on the inside of the 2 fastest on the track at the moment. Remember, this is a time final of 1 of 2. Keelos St Bernards will change just in front of Ringwood. So it's our second 200-metre runner now having a crack. They'll go back to Doncaster. And also out wide, it looks like it is Ringwood. Ringwood leading down the front. Keilor St Bernard's, though, getting to her shoulder now. Western Athletics. So Keilor St Bernard's changed just in front. Ringwood, a little bit slow on the change. Western A's next. Athletics, Nunawading and Doncaster. So this is the Western A's B team in the middle there, and they're Keilor St Bernard's in first, though. Ringwood there. Back to the Western A's B team. Athletics, Nunawading and Doncaster. So with 1,000 metres to go or thereabouts. It's a tight battle in front from the girls. It's a gutsy run here. Keilor St Bernard's just being headed now by Ringwood. Western A's B team next. Doncaster and also Nunawading. But Western A's will change in front. Ringwood next. The times here are what we're looking for. I'm pretty sure the Ringwood runner here we saw go around in the mixed 4x4 not that long ago. So Claire Hurley backing up in the under-18 sprint medley after the mixed 4x4. It's a busy calendar, a busy day of racing for her. So Keilor St Bernard's the one moving quickest on the track at the moment. Doncaster quickly moves into third, trying to chase Ringwood. Western A's now being caught by Nunawading. This is time final 1 of 2. So again, we'll be watching the clock. So 500 to go. Keilor St Bernard's making every post a winner here in time final number 1. Ringwood, we said it's been a big double. She's already run a 4x4 less than an hour ago in the open mixed team. That's Claire Hurley there running for them. But it's Kate Saris out in front. Claire Hurley for Ringwood's next. Doncaster, Safi Killer up. Athletics Nunawading's last runner here is Rebecca Pareski. And then we go back to Western A's, and that's Natalie Christie fighting on well. So it's pretty tight here from second back to fifth. Can we just move the front straight, please, St Kevin's? Otherwise you will be disqualified from your event. Please move off the front straight. Can we please have first aid to the finish line? First aid to the finish line. I did say it's been a big day here for Claire Hurley. She's had to pull off the track there, unfortunately, for Ringwood. She's been a gutsy run. But out in front, it's all Keilor St Bernard's. Can we have first aid, please, to the 1,500 metre start? So out in front, though, it is going to be Keilor St Bernard's. The time's going to be just under 4:30. That'll be the time for the second heat to beat. But Keilor St Bernard's, Kate Saris, a really good run there, about 4:27. The battle on here to set a time for the second heat, and that is going to be between, looks like Nunawading and Doncaster. Nunawading's going to get there. Doncaster will be second back to Western A's. Probably a good reminder right now for those athletes just arriving. Please keep hydrated this afternoon, girls and guys. It's getting quite warm here at Box Hill today. Can we please ensure that you're appropriately hydrated? Especially those who are doing multiple events this afternoon. So a tick under 5 minutes for the second and third team there. 4:27 is our winner. Western A's finish next, and we'll move on shortly to time final number 2. So heat time final number 2 now about to set up on their blocks. Western A's represented here with 3 teams and an outstanding effort. So it'll be Western A's A team here in lane 3, Western A's C team in 4, Casey Cadinia in 5, St Kevin's Athletic Club in 6, traditional female powerhouse, and in 7, Sandringham Athletic Club. So 5 teams here. We're chasing 4:27. 4:27 is the time we're chasing for the women here in time final number 2. So from the inside, Western A's A team, Western A's C team, Casey Cadinia, St Kevin's and Sandringham. Sandringham are the ones who've gone out at a flying pace here. They look to be the ones to set the standard, and they're going to be the ones chasing heat number 1, which was, of course, Keilor St Bernard's in approximately 4:27. So time final number 2, and it is Sandringham a long way in front. St Kevin's just get the baton through, and on the inside, Western Athletics. So Western Athletics chasing Sandringham. Back to St Kevin's, Western A's second team, and Casey Cadinia. So a bit to watch here. You've got Ella Tobin next on the block here. She's going to be running for Western A's A team, and they're going to be tracing out Kundali Powell of Sandringham. And it is Ella Tobin who's going to take the lead very quickly for Western A's A team. Sandringham next, St Kevin's, looks like Maddie Hume, there it is. Casey Cadinia moving well. And then back to Western A's C team. But it's Western A's A team out in front. Sandringham got some work to do with St Kevin's chase hard. Casey Cadinia in 4th, making some good ground. And Western A's C team showing some great depth for the club on the other side of the bridge. But it out in front, Ella Tobin. Western Athletics in front. St Kevin's are going to move into second here as they join Sandringham with 500 to go. What have we got? No, 900 to go because the 800 metres runners to come. But in front, it's Western A's. 4:27 is the time to beat, and they are going to be a long way inside that, I think. This is the fast time final, I reckon. St Kevin's chasing a medal here as well. Sandringham next, and then it's Casey Cadinia. Brianna Sherry there, pretty familiar, long socks and the sunglasses. We've seen her do some very good things at the All Schools. Western AC team next on the track, but it's Western A's A out in front. St Kevin's are going to be joined shortly by Casey Cadinia. Casey doing a lot of work on the first lap. Remember, there is an 800 metre leg to finish. So Western A's, it's about a 25, 30 metre lead. Casey Cadinia joining St Kevin's. 4:27 is the time to watch. They are going to be a long way inside this. I think our medals are in the top 3 here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're chasing medals here, not just times. So Western A's, the gap's closed to about 20 metres with 1 lap to go. St Kevin's look the danger to me. They've been quite conservative first lap. So they get the bell. That's at 3 minutes. They are going to be a long way inside. This is your medalists. Western A's, Casey Cadinia, St Kevin's next. Sandringham plugging along strongly, and also Western A's C team. I called it with a lap to go. Can Bridie Hill of St Kevin's get up? Brianna Sherry did a lot of work on that first lap. It's starting to hurt a little bit. While Mia White has now gone again. So Mia White might have been the smartest of all the runners here. She's going for gold with 200 remaining. Casey Cadinia holding off St Kevin's still. Sandringham next and Western A's C team. 150 remain. Western A's look like it's theirs. But can Casey hold off St Kevin's? It's a good battle. It's a real battle here in the home straight. Western A's, they are going to take gold. St Kevin's are going to come home for the silver. Of course, that's unofficial. Casey Cadinia will be third. But out in front, Western Athletics. St Kevin's next. And I think Brianna Sherry there for Casey Cadinia also stay inside the winning team of heat number 1. And I believe unofficially they're your medalists in time final number 2 under 18 sprint medley relay. Ross, to you and medal presentations.
Thanks, Nick. Presentation now for the under 16 boys medley relay. Receiving the bronze medals, please put your hands together and congratulate Box Hill Athletic Club, Sebastian Beck, Givash Pillay, Liam Keenan, and Isaac Bibeli. And receiving the silver medals, please put your hands and congratulate Sandringham Athletic Club, Sean Lay, Lucas Target, Ben Horsey, and Julian Horsey. And our gold medalists for the 2019 Under-16 Boys Champions. Put your hands together and congratulate Old Scotch Athletic Club, Joshua Juggins, Ben Cashin, Robert Barber, and Rong Hai Chen. So big hand and well done to Old Scotch, to Sandringham and Box Hill in the Under-16 men's medley relay.
Thanks, Ross. And now it's the under-18 boys who are getting onto the track. Again, this is time final number 1 of 2. So setting up their blocks from lane 2 will be Western Athletics. Lane 3 will be Casey Cadinia. Lane 4, Old Scotch. Can they do the under-16, under-18 double? With the form of their 800-metre man, Jean-Philippe Soule there, not there a good chance. In 5, Geelong Guild. In 6, Glenn Huntley. In 7, Athletics Chilwell. And in 8, Frankston Athletic Club.
So just before we get underway on the track, we just have an announcement in regards to the timetable. Event number 14, the boys 4x400 under 18 event proposed for 2:15 will now go at final time at 4:39 p.m. So that's the under 18 boys 4x400 will now run at final time at 4:39 p.m.
Thanks, Ross. And we're in the starters' hands again. This is Sprint Medley under 18 time final number 1 of 2. Western Athletics, Casey Cadinia, Old Scotch, Geelong Guild, Glenn Huntley, Athletics Chilwell and Frankston. Away in this timed final number 1 under 18 boys. Braden Portelli moving quickly on the inside for Western Athletics, and out wide it looks like Kai Ulder Frankston. Glenn Huntley also in the middle there, Lucas Ryan. But at change number 1, It's going to be tight between, whoa, not really sure there. Looks like actually Scotch. In the middle, one to watch though, he might be Brandon Richmond Craig of Geelong Guild. He's moving well. Scotch though are trying to do the under 16, 18 double we talked about earlier. Very tight one here as the 200 metre runners pass over the 400 metre men. Frankston, Glenn Huntley, Scotch, Casey, Geelong Guild, Athletics Chilwell, and Western Athletics. So the 400 metre men now cutting down the back straight. Scotch is the one out in front, that's Sean Elliott. Seb Hadaway though, looking good, chasing him. Frankston, the long striding man there, Heath Corbett. And then Casey Guild, Western Athletics and Chilwell. So time final number one, Scotch versus Glenn Huntley. Scotch are going to have they're going to be hard to beat from there. So Scotch, Glenn Huntley, Frankston, Western A's with a big 400 metre leg. That's Ethan Payne. Not sure if Jean-Philippe Soulet can be caught from there. He was terrific at the All Schools and the APS recently. And he's out in front with 700 metres remaining. Glenn Huntley in second, Frankston third, Western A's. Guild, Chilwell, Casey Cadinia all trying to blodge a time here to be competitive with time final number two. So Scotch, it's not just about winning, it's the time you put on the board to see what team number two can chase. Glenn Huntley, Frankston, Geelong Guild might be the one who can join the party here and get into the top three. So with 500 remaining, Scotch has opened the lead up to about 25 metres. Glenn Huntley is not losing any ground at all to the rest behind him because that's Frankston, Geelong Guild moving nicely, Western A's, Casey and Chilwell. So one lap to go. Scotch won't get caught from here, but what time can the team put on the board? Guild have moved into third like we suggested they would. Frankston, Western A's, Casey Cadinia and Chilwell. 500 metres remaining. Jean-Philippe Soulet out in front and moving a little bit further away with each stride. Guild's the mover into third. He's going to be chasing hard to try to get on to Glenn Huntley. Western A's also chasing Guild. 150 remaining. Scotch won't get caught from there. Glenn Huntley's got some work to do as Guild and Western A's make a move. Frankston in fifth. Casey Cadinia back to Chilwell. This will be a sub 2 minute run for Jean-Philippe. Jean-Philippe Soulet there. He's going to anchor this Scotch team home. Nice last leg. A solo 159, I reckon, roughly. Glenn Huntley will come through second. Then Guild, Western A's, Casey Cadinia, Frankston and Chilwell. So again, approximate times only. We're chasing approximate only, but I reckon we're going for about 3:36 or 3:35, 3:42 and about 3:44. We'll see how they hold up in time final number two. So time final number two, setting up on their blocks now. It'll be Athletics Essendon in 1, Box Hill in 2, Ivanhoe Harriers 3, Sandringham 4, Bendigo Region 5, Key Lawson Bernards in 6, Athletics, none of wanting it doesn't seem, and Diamond Valley in 8. So we said roughly 3:35, the time to beat. All right, back to be in the starters' hands again. It's Athletics Essendon, Box Hill, Ivanhoe, Sandringham, Bendigo Region, Key Lawson, Bernards and Diamond Valley. No lanes 7. 7 starters, time final, number 2.
On your marks.
They're away from the inside. Essendon looking good. Box Hill, Ivanhoe, Sandringham, Bendigo Region, Key Lawson, Bernards, Diamond Valley. Diamond Valley, very good outside. That's Andrew Howe. We saw him on the medal dais in the 100, 200 and 400 at the All Schools. And Diamond Valley go bang on this first leg. Also in the mix it looks to be Bendigo Region, Sandringham not out of it. Box Hill, Essendon and Ivanhoe in a tight battle. And Key Lawson, Bernards. But out in front, it's going to be Diamond Valley. Diamond Valley going to pass over to Jack. Who is it? It is the man. It's Jack Clark. The All Schools champ over 200 and 400. I don't think anyone's going to catch him from there out in front. Those trying, though, are Sandringham, Box Hill, Key Lawson, Bernards, Bendigo Region, Essendon and Ivanhoe. Jack Clark, some say he looks a bit like Steve Solomon, does his trade out with Rocket Kelly. And at the police paddocks, he's now joined by Connor Ogilvie of Box Hill. But it's Diamond Valley. Box Hill next. Sandringham, Bendigo Region, Essendon, Key Lawson, Bernards, Ivanhoe. So Jack Clark, the All Schools champ, chased by Connor Ogilvie, the national medalist over 800 metres. So it's a good battle here. Connor Ogilvie's actually held good ground on Jack Clark, an impressive run. Clark will pass over for Diamond Valley in first. Box Hill next. Essendon, Sandringham, Bendigo, Ivanhoe and Key Lawson, Bernards. Plenty of chances still here in this in this second time final. Approximately 3:35 is what we're looking for on the clock. Approximate. 3:41, 3:44 might have been the second and third. Essendon, Sandringham, Bendigo Region, Ivanhoe and Key Lawson, Bernards are grouping together. But they're about 50 metres down on Box Hill, who's a further 20 metres back on Diamond Valley. Gold might be a little bit hard for this team here from Diamond Valley, but the medals are still well and truly a chance. Diamond Valley, they'll go through in about 3:30, 2:33. Box Hill next. Essendon, Bendigo Region, Sandringham, Ivanhoe and Key Lawson, Bernards. So at the moment, the top two are there right amongst the medals from that from time final number 1. Essendon look to be the best mover next on the track. Bendigo Region not out of this. But it's Diamond Valley with 200 to go. Can Box Hill get there? So it's Caden Murray out in front. Lockie Doman chasing him down. With 150 to go, Lockie Doman's a chance here. They're not going to catch Scotch from there, but they are in the hunt here for silver and bronze. This is going to be really big. The time really matters here, lads. Diamond Valley, Box Hill, 50 metres, head to go. Murray kicks again. That's a gutsy run from Diamond Valley. And it might have been enough just to get into the medals for Diamond Valley. Box Hill's going to be right on the edge. Essendon, Bendigo Region, Sandringham, Ivanhoe, Key Lawson, Bernards. We'll wait for the official results. I'm pretty sure Scotch is going to be safe. Diamond Valley might have got onto the podium to join them. Box Hill will have to wait and see for the official results to come. That's time final number 2, under 18 men's sprint medley. We now move on to the open age group. Great to see two-time finals here. This first time final will start with St Stephen's Harriers in 2. The club well and truly returning their glory years here. Casey Cadinio in 3, Deakin Athletic Club 4, Geelong Guild 5, Doncaster 6, Athletics Nunawading 7 and Diamond Valley in 8. So there are two-time finals here. Glen Huntly have 2 teams in the second time final. Everyone else has a single A team on the track. So we're just still setting up blocks there. Time final number 2. Again, several of these athletes went around in the mixed 4x4 earlier.
Third runners, I want you over here in your lanes. Fourth runners, just stay over near the fence for now, please. So St Stephen's, I need you in lane 2, but back here a bit behind the starter. We'll give him a bit of space. Lane 2, it'll be a tick further up, and then later we'll go. Leave there with no one there. On your mark. Lane 8, can you hear me? No false start. On your mark.
So from the inside, St Stephen's, Casey, Deakin, Geelong Guild, Doncaster and Athletics Nunawading. 200 metres to start. It'll go to another 200, then 400, 800. So the race gradually gets a little slower. But it's certainly starting with Doncaster looking good out there. Familiar stride, I thought it was. It's Liv Ryan, former stall gift winner there for Doncaster, changing in first. Great to see the pro runners joining the amateur ranks. So Doncaster passes over to Emily McLean, now in the Doncaster colours. Some unfamiliar sight to me. Doncaster there, Nunawading, back to Guild. And in the mix in the middle there is also Deakin, Casey Cadinio and St Stephen's. Doncaster will change first, and that'll go to Katza. Catherine Katzanovakis, former 800 metre national champion for Doncaster. She likes the short stuff now. This is 400. And she's got 300 metres remaining of this leg. I think Casey Cadinio is the next fastest mover on the track, and it is, and that's Carmen De Bruin. They'll move quickly from 4th into 3rd, maybe into 2nd. Nunawading thereabouts. Geelong Guild. I reckon that's Deakin. And St Stephen's are going to leave Whitney Sharp with a lot of work to do. They're going to be 80 metres back when she gets the baton. But out in front, Catherine Katzanovakis. Looking terrific. She's going to pass over to the under 20 Doncaster 800 metre runner there. It looks like it is. It's Melissa Newalt. So Doncaster will have 30 metres here on Nunawading. That's Bridget Brammer, the former 400 metre hurdler, taking the 800 metre leg. Casey controlled. Whitney Sharp has got 60 metres to make up. So the Australian mile champion gets the baton in last. How quickly will she move through the field? She's been good over 5K recently. As she moves now, she moves from 7th into 5th. Goes past the SSH marquee there on the back straight. Famous days there of Norm Osborne coaching squads here at Box Hill. But out in front, it's Doncaster. It's Nunawading in second. St Stephen's and Deakin are the next two fastest movers at the moment. So 500 metres remaining. Doncaster haven't lost any lead on second, but they are getting caught from the chasing pack. That's Olivia Hobbs of Deakin. And as we mentioned, it's Whitney Sharp of St Stephen's. So Whitney Sharp moves now into second. She's with Olivia, who is it? So Liz Olivia Hobbs there of Geelong Guild. Sorry, I said that the wrong way around before. Deakin has got Esther Keon last leg. So with 1 lap to go, Whitney Sharp has halved the lead. Olivia Hobbs going with her. So you got Melissa Newalt, the under-20 runner from Doncaster. Whitney Sharp, recent star over 5,000 metres and the Australian mile champion for St Stephen's in second. Olivia Hobbs, the all-schools champion over 1,500 and 5,000 in third. Bridget Brammer looking good still on this 800 metre leg. And then back to Deakin. And rounding that behind there is Casey Cardinia and also Nunawading. But in front, Sharp gets to the outside now of Newalt. So that's St Stephen's. Just goes past Doncaster. What time can they set here in this open women's race? Bridget Brammer's kicked again. She's going to get up to Hobbs. So that's Nunawading chasing Guild. But out in front, St Stephen's. Melissa Newalt's going again though for Doncaster. She's not done with yet. Sharp, St Stephen's, Doncaster. A big battle on between Nunawading and also Guild. But St Stephen's will take out the first heat. Doncaster second. Nunawading third. Guild, Deakin, the two Geelong clubs, Casey Cardinia and Diamond Valley. So we're going to be looking at about 4:07 to 4:11 maybe for the medal times. I called it with the 2 laps to go. Whitney Sharp took them from 7th into 1st, so a lot can happen on this last leg. We might see the same in this next race. Some pretty talented back-end runners coming up in the Glenn Huntley team, I can see. But again, we're looking at about 4:07 to 4:11 for the medals in this open women's sprint medley.
So presentation now for the under-18 women's medley relay, and receiving the bronze medals, put your hands together and congratulate Casey Cardinia, Jennifer McDonald, Felicity Juvelet, Josie Lawton and Brianna Sherry. And receiving the silver medals, put your hands together and congratulate St Kevin's, Mia DeStefanis, Sasha Feldman, Madeline Hume and Bridie Hill. So big hand there for St Kevin's. And our under-18 medley girls champions, put your hands together and congratulate Western Athletics Club, Chantel Williams, Sumia Bio, Ella Tobin and Mia White. So a big hand there for Western A's, for St Kevin's and Casey Cardinia and the under-18 girls medley relay.
Time final number 2 now on the track. Glenn Huntley B, Sandringham, Ringwood, Melbourne University, Glenn Huntley and Box Hill. 6 starters. We're looking at about 4:07 to 4:11 to get on the dais.
On your mark.
So Glen Huntly B, Sandringham, Ringwood, Melbourne University, Glen Huntly and Box Hill. Looks like Letitia Willis of Ringwood making the best start thus far. That's the Ringwood colours in the middle of the field, lane number 4. So the World Junior hurdler, Letitia Willis, is going to change first for Ringwood, and she's going to pass over to Danielle Shaw, also a World Junior 400-metre hurdler. So Ringwood, long way in front at change number 1. Glen Huntly chasing hard. We've said how good their back end is in this relay. In the middle there, Melbourne University. Out wide, Box Hill. And a little bit back at the moment, it looks like Sandringham and also Glen Huntly B. But Ringwood will change first. And they're going to go to Jess Payne stepping up. Former under-20 Victorian champion over 200 takes the baton in the lead. Chasing the back of the group there is also Ashley Palmer for Glen Huntly and Elizabeth Ingledire. She's in the mix as well for Sandringham. But it's Ringwood, Casey Cadinia, Glen Huntly, Sandringham, Box Hill, Glen Huntly B. So 1,000 metres to go in this medley relay. Ringwood look good out in front. Sandringham's making the big move. Glen Huntly also joining them. Casey Cadinia, Box Hill in a little bit of trouble now with behind them Glen Huntly B. So Jess Payne, she's got about 10 metres as the group of 3 behind try to latch on. Casey Cadinia fighting really hard in the mix. Sorry, it is Casey Cadinia in there. So it'll be Ringwood first. I've just called that Casey Cadinia. It's Melbourne University, of course. Apologies. So out in front, it's Ringwood. Next, it's Glen Huntly, and that's the familiar stride there of course, Sophie O'Sullivan. So Ringwood, Glen Huntly, Melbourne University, Sandringham, Box Hill, Glen Huntly B. So 600 metres remaining. Ringwood still lead. Glen Huntly now joining them. Melbourne University latched on in third. Apologies for calling them Casey Cadinia a couple of times. That's not a club uniform. So Sophie O'Sullivan now hits the lead for Glen Huntly. So Glen Huntly out in front. Looks to be the new colours of Glen Huntly. Melbourne University in second, Ringwood in third. Box Hill not out of this at all yet. Glen Huntly B and Sandringham. We talked about 4:07 to 4:11 being the times to beat. I reckon these girls at the moment are just inside that. This could be your medalists. Melbourne Uni hanging on. That's Linda Reid. The big mover in the back there, though, seems to be Glen Huntly's B team. Claudia Carter now getting into the mix. She's latched on to Sophie Westcott of Box Hill, and our early leaders, Ringwood. 150 to go, Glen Huntly. This is going to be really tight. But Sophie O'Sullivan, Glen Huntly, she's chasing about a 4:07, we said. She should get there from here. It's going to be really tight. Melbourne University next, 4:02, 4:03. It might just be enough. It's going to come down to less than half a second. Melbourne Uni's going to have to wait. Ringwood won't quite get on the podium. Claudia Carter's run a big leg there for Glen Huntly's B team. Sophie Westcott of Box Hill. And that is our time final number 2. Back to our next presentation, Ross.
Thanks, Nick. Presentation now for the under-18 men's medley relay, and receiving the bronze medals. Please put your hands and congratulate Box Hill Athletic Club. So I think it's cue to put the medals on around the necks. Box Hill, yep. And receiving the silver medals, please put your hands together and congratulate Diamond Valley Athletic Club, Andrew Howe, Lucas Wilson, Jack Clark, and Caden Murray. So big well done there to Diamond Valley and also to Box Hill. Box Hill team there of Jeremy Shun, Jordan Lang, Connor Ogilvie, and Lachlan Doman. And receiving the gold medals, please put your hands and congratulate Old Scotch Athletic Club, Joshua Rubens, Sean Elliott, Jack Polkenhorn, and Jean-Philippe Soulet. So big well done there to Old Scotch, Diamond Valley, Box Hill, and the under-18 men's medley relay.
So now it's time for the men's mixed, the men's medley time final number 1 of 2. It'll be Casey Cadinia in 3, Melbourne University in 4, Box Hill in 5, Sandringham 6, St Kevin's in 7. I think they might be the ones here to be looking at, and Glen Huntly in 8. Glen Huntly a pretty good lineup as well. So 6 teams in time final number 1. So they're away in this time final. Time final number 1. So from the inside, Casey Cadinia, Melbourne University, Box Hill, Sandringham, St Kevin's, Glen Huntly. Connor Fry, St Kevin's colours there, running well on this first leg. So it is St Kevin's chasing Glen Huntly. Sandringham right there as well. Glen Huntly on the outside, St Kevin's next. Sandringham's made a really good move. So Glen Huntly will change just in front of Sandringham. St Kevin's next. Casey Cadinia, Box Hill. Again, we're looking for times here. What can they lay down for the mighty Doncaster to chasing time final number 2? So out in front at Sandringham, Daniel Marach it is. Glen Huntly second. Casey Cadinia third. St Kevin's have got some work to do. They've left a bit for Jonathan Guzman to do here on this last leg. Box Hill fighting on strong, but it's going to be Sandringham changing first. Glen Huntly's a big chance here. Daniel Hamilton gets the baton for them. Lachlan Herder, Casey Cadinia, Jonathan Gusman of St Kevin's, and then it goes to Box Hill. So Daniel Hamilton's going to go straight to the front. So Glen Huntly looking to post a time for heat number 2 to chase. Lockie Hurd looking good. Gusman of St Kevin's got a bit of work to do in 4th. Box Hill, the 5th on the track at the moment. So 600 metres remaining. Daniel Hamilton looking terrific. He's gone past Lyndon B there of Sandringham. Lockie Hurd, as we said, I reckon a big second lap here and he might get himself into the top 2. Guzman out of it at the moment from St Kevin's. Box Hill 5th. So Glen Huntly, they go at the bell now. Sandringham next. Casey Cadinia, Lockie Hurd, I said, will get into the top 2. Gusman still got a bit of work to do to get into the top 3 for St Kevin's. Box Hill next. Again, we'll watch the clock here to say what times these teams lay on the line for time final number 2. Lockie Hurd, can he make any more ground up for Casey Cadinia on Glenn Huntley? So it's Glenn Huntley out in front, Casey Cadinia next. Sandringham doing everything he can to stay in the top 3 to give himself a chance at the medal. St Kevin's next. Box Hill. We had a slightly unusual one there. Melbourne University decided to start a relay without a baton. That's a first. That's new tactics, Manfred Lewandowski and Terry Reid. I like that. So out in front, Lockie Hurd trying to chase Daniel Hamilton, but Glenn Huntley will just get there. Casey Cadinia next. It'll be just around 3:35. St Kevin's give themselves a chance at a medal. It was a big leg there from Sandringham. Tried to hang on, but they'll just be outside the podium for the moment.
Terry, that was gold. That was gold.
How's Mr. Merritt? How you doing, mate? Everything?
So time final number 2 next on the track. You've got Athletics Chilwell in 2, Doncaster in 3, Ringwood in 4, Williamstown 5, St Stephen's Harrier 6 and Glen Huntley B in 7. Gentlemen on the blocks, just make sure there's a baton in your hand, please. So approximately 3:35, the time to beat for these men in time final number 2. From the inside, it's Chilwell, Doncaster, Ringwood, Williamstown, St Stephen's Harriers and Glen Huntley. Conrad Kamaris is the man demanding a lot of attention here in time final number 2. Doncaster will change clearly in the lead, and they'll go to Tristan Robinson. So the Doncaster teammates look terrific. Out wide, it's Glenn Huntley. They're taking the battle up. Behind them, there's a bit of work to do for Ringwood, Chilwell, Williamstown, and St Stephen's. So it's all Doncaster out in front at the moment. Tristan Robinson looking magnificent. So Doncaster, oh, he's gone early, but he's gone, okay. Glenn Huntley now is being swamped by Chilwell and Ringwood, and there's a bit of a mess there. Williamstown next, St Stephen's Harriers. So Doncaster out in front. Then it's Jaden Barmby. He's the man to watch. I reckon Chilwell might change in front here at the end. So Jaden Barmby, great to see him back on the track. The Geelong Flyer over 400. Stephen Dang next for Ringwood. Glenn Huntley, Williamstown, and Tim Gibney of St Stephen's. But out in front, Chilwell leads. Doncaster second. Ringwood third. Glenn Huntley, St Stephen's, Williamstown. So we're going to go to the 800 metres. And it's going to be Grant Muir, the Scotsman. He's going to need a sub 2 minute time, or right on 2 minutes, to take the state title. So Chilwell's in front. That's Grant Muir, the 2-lap specialist from Geelong Way, formerly of Scotland. Doncaster in second, Ringwood third, Glenn Huntley, St Stephen's, and Williamstown. 3:35 is what we're looking for. It was Glenn Huntley in heat number 1 that laid down the time. Chilwell's chasing it here. Doncaster not far off being in the mix as well. Still a chance to get on the medal podium. So it's a good run from Grant Muir. He's going to do this comfortably. I reckon the medal, the gold is all theirs. He's going to go probably close to 150 low, I reckon, the way he's moving along. Doncaster second. Glenn Huntley's B team here. Ringwood, Williamstown, and St Stephen's. So 2:50 to go. It's not a case of whether Grant Muir is going to get caught, but can he beat the Glenn Huntley team from time final 1? Doncaster's got a little bit of work to do at the moment. They might be just dropping away from those medals. But Chilwell's definitely not. 150 remaining. It's all Chilwell with 100 to go. He'll come home, he'll take gold unofficially for this Chilwell's team at the Victorian Medley Championship. It's going to be a really tight one for Doncaster in second. They're going to be really close to those medals. They're trying to chase the Casey Cadinia time. But Chilwell will unofficially take gold. It's going to come down to it's going to be down to just tenths of a second, I reckon, for Doncaster. It's bang on the Casey time, who was second in the first heat. So we'll have to wait and see. Williamstown next, Glenn Huntley, St Stephen's, and Ringwood. So we do have a short half-hour break on the track now for our officials to gather some lunch. So enjoy yourself there in the crowd while we have a half-hour break. If those who are looking to warm up can use the track in this break, and we will clear you off 10 minutes before the next start of our next event. So from now until 2:20, the track can be used for warm-up. But there is a short break here so our officials can grab some lunch.